Hello, welcome to another tier list for Slay the Spire 2. Today we're going to be ranking all the relics from Nonupeipe. Nonupeipe is the Serenity Incarnate. Um, Alec, my name is Joseph, and this is my co-worker, Alex.
Yeah, I'm excited to rank these. I think these have a lot of interesting effects. I think this is one of the my favorite ancients to come across just because I think there's a lot of interesting, I don't know, every single one of these I think is interesting in different circumstances. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like Nonupeipe is one that I'm happier to see. I feel good seeing her.
Yeah,
When I
definitely some strong relics in here. And
Yep.
consistent too. I feel like even if you low roll with this, it's still like strong. I feel like I don't
Mhm.
really feel like I've ever whiffed when I see this person.
Last thing to know is we're ranking this within her own tier, her own relics. So of course these are boss relics. They're a lot better than most common relics, and but this isn't to compare against other ancients. This is I you got Nunya Pipe in as your ancient. Which of these relics should you be taking?
Yeah, and I know the first answer. Can we just put Diadem as S tier as the best relic in the game? That thing is so
No, because it's
broken.
like it's like the fifth one.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it's so clearly the best. It's so good.
Okay.
It's so
So
insane.
this is Diamond Diadem. Whenever you play two or fewer cards in a turn, take half damage from enemies on their next turn. Yeah, half damage is a lot less.
It's a lot less.
Um, I don't take this usually
Well,
because
I
it
take
doesn't
it
sound
every single
fun.
time I see it.
You take
Even
it
when
every
I'm
time you see
like,
it.
I don't know if it'd be that good here. I'm like, nope, it's still broken here. Update. Like, it's
Yeah, no,
insane. Expect like
I rec.
on turns you want to set up powers. It's insane because you can just play the power one defend card, and then the diadem defends for like 15. Uh, and then you get like powers out super easily, or like your super high cost powers are less punishing now because you just take half damage. It's so good.
I just like playing cards, you know. So I don't. But it's clearly insane, right? Uh, it's just whenever you need block, it is half the block you need for whichever card you skip, right?
Yeah.
And often you can just play more expensive cards.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yep. 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 Okay, now we can go back to the first one. My bad for jumping.
Beautiful bracelet. Upon pickup, choose three cards in deck, enchant them with Swift 3. Um, I have a hard time with this. This Swift 3 means that the first time you play them in a combat, you draw three cards. And that's a good thing. Um, this is like an accelerant, getting through your deck faster and getting to the powers you need and the things you need to set up faster. But also, um, drawing cards is only really good if you have the energy to back that up. So really you should be taking this if you have good energy base already, in which case it does just insane things. I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier.
Yeah, I feel like I've only taken this one once just because I feel like the other ones are generally stronger, or I don't know. The fact, like, you draw a lot of cards your first trip through the deck, but then obviously after that you don't. And so it doesn't like super solve your card draw problem if your deck had a card draw problem because it's just a one-time solution, which can help a ton in like hallway fights, but then once you reach the next boss, it like doesn't actually help. It doesn't solve your card draw problem. It's like just
See,
the
see,
it's an
see.
accelerator.
I see it as solving a powers consistency problem,
Yeah.
right? Your first trip through your deck, you really want to get to your powers and play them. Well, this lets you get to those powers, play those powers as fast as possible. But the problem is, if I play a one cost card and now I've drawn my three cost power, it's hard to play that, right?
Yeah.
So this is, I feel like you really want to have an extra energy or have cards in your deck that give you energy. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. Something about this one makes me like it less. So yeah, B
okay,
tier is fine for now. We'll see if we want to how we shift that.
bump it.
Yep.
Blessed Antler, gain one energy at the start of each turn. At the start of each combat, shuffle three dazed into your draw pile. Dazed are unplayable ethereal statuses.
Yeah, for me this one is like I think it's my favorite energy relic, and I would put it in S tier. I don't know why I don't find the days that harmful because it's probably more harmful than I notice. But like they feel like temporary. They're I don't know. They just go away, and then I just have extra energy, and it doesn't feel bad. I guess. I mean, there's some other strong energy relics from other ancients, but I think this one's quite good.
Um, See, here's where it gets tricky because we only have eight things to rank, right?
Hmm.
So is this really on the same tier as Diadem?
Nothing is.
Right? Nothing is? Then it should be A tier, right?
I mean, or Diadem, we make an S plus tier.
Oh, I don't. That technology doesn't exist, Alex. Um, I think it's energy's great. 3 days is quite a bit for your first trip through, but it's three Ascender's Bane, right? They disappear, um, and you have more energy. So if you have card draw, you'll skip past those
Right.
days, and you can use that energy on the card draw, um, and
Yep.
it won't be a problem, right?
Yep. 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 Yep.
It's only going to really be an issue if you have no card draw, which you can pick up in Act 3 before the boss. Brilliant Scarf. The fifth card you play each turn is free. I don't like this one. Maybe I'm just have played a lot of Regent and I'm not getting to five cards played a turn very often. Um,
You
but
you say that, but just today I got the combo badge, which is play 20 more cards in a turn. I got that twice in two different runs. But
um, yeah, free cards is obviously like energy, right? And if you're playing something that costs two, you're getting two energy, right? But you have to work for your free energy. I'd probably put it in C tier.
I think it's definitely better than C tier. Yeah, you have to work for your energy, which is annoying. And I think it is much more situational than like the antlers are just like good all the time. Like the scarf, you're not going to pick up in specific decks, but I have found that you can play your cards carefully to get, and it says that it's the fifth card is free, right?
Yeah, so you just play
So you just
four
have to
and then
play
you have
four
a free
cards, and I feel like that's not a super big ask. And then you are
card.
saving like two energy per turn optimally. Or I mean, I guess or more is optimal. But anyway, two two can happen quite consistently, and I've done that, and it feels quite strong. But it can be difficult to set up. I think it's better than the necklace thing bracelet.
You feel good about that?
Yeah,
Delicate Frond. At the start of each combat, fill all empty potion slots with random potions. What do you think of this one, Alex?
yeah. This one is a lot of fun, and it obviously synergizes fantastic with things such as the potion belt or the Niao relic that gives you extra potion slots, or the other random ancient relic that gives you like four additional potion slots. And with those, it's just broken. With those, if you're getting four potions every combat, it's just like insane, or more than four potions, it's like crazy. if you assuming you just have the typical 2 potion slots per combat, it could still quite be quite strong. I am not over the moon about it though. I looking at the tiers how they are right now, I mean, I might put it at low B tier for this simple upside of having more potion slots, or if you're not playing A10, obviously it's better if you have three potion slots. But if you're just doing the flat rate 2 potion slots, I'd put in C tier.
I think I'm a bit higher on this, but of course, when I first saw it, it blew my mind. I was like, that's amazing. You just get to play 2 free potions a turn, a combat, which is a lot of output. But the problem is, I realize that I want to keep the best
Mm,
potions and
hmm
save it for those final fights. And so then often I'm saving like a duplicated potion. And maybe this helped me find that, right? But then it means I'm only getting like 1 free potion per combat, right?
Yeah,
And suddenly you don't know what that potion is. It's 1 free potion per combat. You get that off like the white elephant, right?
right.
Um, so I'd want to put it in B. I'd want to put it above this scarf, but I don't like this scarf.
That's fine.
Take that scarf. Fur coat. Upon pickup, mark 7 random combats. Enemies in those rooms have 1 HP. Um,
Rumor has it this is the worst one.
Rumor has it's the worst one, and I don't really like it. So I haven't taken it enough to really confirm that it's the worst one. But I want to leave it where it is in D tier.
Yeah,
I think the issue is a couple free combats. What does that really equate to? Right? If you're lucky, this is giving you like 3 free combats or something, right? And if you're really lucky, that's 2 free relics,
right.
and that's the best case scenario where something like this, an A tier, is giving you an energy every turn guaranteed.
Yeah, I think
Um,
part of the awkward part about this relic is the fact that it kind of determines your path for you, which can be awkward if you want to like really need to hit a shop. But then the fur coat is like, hey, but here's like 4 combats right back to back that could be for free. And so you kind of feel like you have to go for that. And if you don't want to go for that, then you're wasting the boss relic, which is just super awkward. And so that's not great about it. Yeah, I think right there in D feels fine. Good.
of course, to be clear, anything in D as a boss relic is probably insane, right? If you could get this from a shop, you'd be like, wow, I really
Yeah,
want to buy that,
yeah,
right? The
absolutely.
problem is it's your boss relic.
Yeah.
You'll want to take these other ones over it. Um, Glitter, enchant all cards rewards with Glam, which gives you replay once per combat.
Yeah, glam is kind of an insane keyword. It just makes cards broken. You can get powers that are now just double power, which is really, really strong. Even if you like don't want the power that much or it doesn't like super go well with your deck, it now suddenly becomes like really strong. I sometimes find with this relic though, and maybe that's just because the current state of the game, where Act 3 is generally considered the easiest act, where my deck can be in such a position where it's strong enough that I don't want to add a ton of extra cards. And so it becomes worse because of that, because I don't care to. But even in those scenarios, I like have this and then I'm like, I don't really need that many cards. And I look at a card and it reads that it gets replay one the first time you play it. And I was like, wow, okay, that card's really strong. And so I end up adding some cards anyway, just because of how strong Glam can make cards. All that being said, I would probably put it in. I don't want to overstock a B tier, but that is where I would be leaning.
Hmm. Yeah, I have a hard time with this. I don't usually take many cards in Act 3, maybe one or two. Um, if this was in Act 1, if this came out of Meow, this would be
Well,
out
it does
every
come out of
Meow relic
Meow.
ever.
You know, now has in the beta branch, your first card reward has glam.
Oh my. That's so cool.
It is really cool. You can also just whiff, you know, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. But like it's really hard for a card to be bad
yes, even if
if
you
it's
whiff,
twice
it's still a
it's
great card.
twice as strong as it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Um I'm okay with B tier if that's where you want it. Can I put low B tier?
yeah.
Um yeah, I'm often looking for like an infusion of power. I love these like infusion of powers that require nothing than this thing that I need to then go take cards because I don't really have to. Jewelry box upon pickup, add one Apotheosis to deck. Apotheosis is a 2 cost. Um, uh, Upgrade all cards in your deck. Exhaust, and then upgraded it might be 1 cost or something.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, I probably you'll if you really really need upgrades, this can Apotheosis can be a crazy card. But you're getting it after you've already gotten your most important upgrades because it's in Act 3. So you have your most important upgrades. If there's ones you really need, you can take it. But the one time I ran it, I was having to play this 2 cost Apotheosis now, and that's a pretty big commitment. It's a good payoff, but you probably then want to go upgrade that Apotheosis. Um, I don't know. I think it's a D tier just because the most important upgrades you should already have. Um, if you don't, maybe it's worth picking, but otherwise, it's just too much energy on your first turn to play Apotheosis instead of just play your upgraded power that you already put in your deck.
You make some good points, and I, I definitely, obviously, you need to like upgrading this makes it way better. But that's fine because you don't need to upgrade anything else now.
Yeah, yeah,
No, it does just take one rest away from you, but you know that's you were probably planning on upgrading there anyway.
yeah. Hmm.
I feel like this. I was leaning towards A tier here.
A first major disagreement.
I feel like there's an event. I don't know what act it's in, but it's like, hey, do you want to exchange all your max HP to upgrade your entire deck? And sometimes that's worth it. And so the fact that this does that is really strong. Like upgraded cards are really good. And yes, you
Uh-huh.
generally have your most important cards upgraded. But just everything has more output now. Now, just like everything, just because all your turns are better, it does a lot of work. To me, this is A tier. I don't know if that's actually true. It does cost, especially before you get it upgraded. Two is a large commitment. And like you already have some of your cards upgraded that already needed the upgrade. Something, 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 but so maybe it's just maybe it's lower, but it's not D tier. It's not D tier. Do not put it in the same tier as fur coat. It's not D tier.
uh, I like this Swift one better than this.
I
Um,
don't think that's good. Rankings.
what?
Surely my A is worth more than just putting it up one.
No, no, no. It's
Surely we
okay.
could put it above the
I,
bracelet.
I want to debate this a bit longer. I want to try to pitch my case for this being a bad relic. When was the last time you used jewelry box?
I don't know. I get it. There's a lot of different agents and a lot of different. I've used it more recently than the bracelet.
See,
Do I win?
a po-
Was that your only point of evidence?
no. Um, just like I don't know. I have the important upgrades. So then maybe I'm upgrading like my defense and my strikes and maybe a couple cards that aren't as important, but I like the upgrades on. But it's like 3 or 4 upgrades that are nice. I think it's nice to have. I'd rather have this apotheosis in my deck than not. But I've you've already
So,
like
how many campfires are you hitting in Act 1 and 2?
as many as I can.
Right. And that's generally, let's say that's three. You get two in the middle and then one at the end. Sometimes you can make
6.
four, right?
Uh-huh.
But that's like, right, let's say that's six campfires. Feels
Mhm.
pretty standard. And you spend, let's say, four of those on upgrades, and the other two need to be rests. And sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes you need a rest more
I
than that.
definitely feel like I have more than 4 upgraded cards by the time I hit
You
Act
feel
3.
like
I'm trying
that, but
to
you don't. Okay, there's events upgrade cards.
events and some cards come upgraded and
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I feel like you have 6, 7 of your like 20 cards upgraded by the time you hit Act
And
3.
this card is worse in a smaller deck.
Uh-huh.
This is true. You say 20 cards in your deck. I'm thinking, 30 card decks exist commonly. I mean, less so now that Doormaker is gone.
Who runs 30 card decks? Ridiculous.
And this upgrades 14 cards. Even in your 20 card deck, it upgrades 14 cards. That's a
Yeah.
lot of cards. If this red, like, you look at Yummy Cookie, I think that relic's really good. Upgrade 4 cards. Just great. It's just great. This reads Yummy Cookie, but 3 to 4 times that amount of upgrades. All it does is cost one at the start of your combat. I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm in. I'm in. That's really good.
Mm,
Yummy Cookie, really
uh,
good. This, really good.
uh,
Okay, obviously, Yummy Cookie is also good because you get to specifically pick your most important 4 upgrades, and then this upgrades everything
uh-huh.
else too. But like just having flat upgrades are just good.
I'm not sure I'm sold, but I could put it here
You don't have to
because I
make it
don't
a
like
B
that
tier
scarf.
if you're really not sold. I'm just right now I'm really just trying to get you to put up a bracelet.
Above bracelet? I like the bracelet.
So you're willing to put it in B tier, but not above bracelet. Got it. I mean, obviously, I
I
think it
think
is
you
B
might be
tier.
underestimating this bracelet, but it
Maybe,
is
maybe.
like
I think I
have
am.
energy already, do this, zoom through your deck, get all your powers down, right?
Yeah,
But if you
yeah,
don't have energy already, you probably don't want to take it, right?
yeah.
So,
But don't let me
um,
convince you to put Drew down to C tier because I do think it's B tier. Or yeah.
well, I don't like the scarf. It can go with the scarf. Looming Fruit. Upon pickup, raise your max HP by 31. What do you think of this card? This relic, Alex?
Yeah, I feel like 31 is a lot of HP. And it, because also when you consider max HP, you also have to consider how much more you're healing at rest sites. And yeah, at rest sites because you don't heal after the boss because it's the last boss. And I feel like whenever I pick this, I'm healthy and good for like the entire game. At the same time, I don't actually think it's that good because generally when I win a run, I'm not taking that much damage because my deck is that good. And so like it gives you some leeway, quite a bit of leeway to be fair. But at the same time, it doesn't like I want to win and win confidently. This lets you win not confidently, and that if that makes sense. And so I'd probably chuck this
Yeah.
in C tier is where I'm thinking for this one.
It's so weird. It's so much health, right?
It is
And
a lot.
it's like a +6 healing when you rest, right? And it's so much health. But you're right that it's not fundamentally changing the output of your deck. The thing about health is that, especially if this was like at the beginning, health, having extra health snowballs because it lets you take upgrades, right? And you take upgrades, you lose less health, you get to take other upgrades, right? And so health does end up translating into damage
That's
because it
fair.
lets you
Yeah.
take elites that you couldn't otherwise, get relics from that, right? Um, but some of these other cards are more drastically shaping. Um, I'm okay with C because some of these other cards are more drastically shaping just the way the world is.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's strong. And I just think the other relics are better.
Mhm. Signet ring upon pickup gain 999 gold. Um, I think this is kind of crazy, to be honest. I would put it in A tier, maybe even above Blessed Antler. Um, this says if you hit one shop, get 3 relics, a card remove, and any of the cards on offer that you want. It's just an insane amount of gold. It's pretty much buy out a shop, but just the ones you want from the shop. And if you hit 2 shops, you can be a little bit more discerning with that and get the relics you really need. But it's just an insane amount of gold. And um, insane amount of gold means like 3 random normal relics, card remove, all just so much good stuff.
Yeah, it is a lot of gold. I only pick this up when there is two shops though. And so I think that is good to keep in mind because I feel like with one shop, you don't always hit on like I rarely find I pick this up, walk into a shop and I want all 3 relics. I just don't feel like that happens that often. And sometimes I only want one relic. I've run into shops where I don't want any of the relics and I just save it all for the next shop. And because of that reason, I would put it under antlers. I don't, I mean, on paper, like everything you said sounds fantastic. I've just found in practice, I don't want the relics as much as I would want, unless there is two shops, in which case I'm feeling much more comfortable, which does happen most of the time. So
It's just a lot of gold.
it is a lot of gold. Sometimes too much gold. Sometimes I'm just like, well, guess I'm walking into the final boss with 300 gold left over because nothing.
Yeah, but you got some good stuff out of it. Um, how are we feeling with this tier list?
It's feeling good. I think I like our low end. I think B tier
We
really is the tier of like I really don't know where like I feel like any one of those could easily be pushed up or I don't see
I
I
love
I
how
don't think any of them are going down to C tier, but I think any of them could be A tier.
I love how you say I like our low tier, and I feel like you were about to say I like our high tiers, but then I'm not sure what's in the middle should be there. I'm not sure if that's actually where you were going, but that's the vibe I was getting. I like the bottom, I like the top, but the middle, should it really be there? I mean, something's got to be in the middle. I think this is a very
I don't know.
um,
I kind of feel like Signet Ring is worse than A tier, if I'm being honest. But your argument
mm,
convinced me. It was a good argument.
it's a lot of
So
gold.
it's it's a lot of gold.
Even if you don't like
Here's another downside
those
to it
relics aren't hits, right?
is that I need two shops and it doesn't give me an instant boost in power. The other
Not
ones,
giving it
like Glam, same thing, right? You don't start seeing that power until you get card rewards and start using those cards.
yeah, yeah.
But all these others, Combat 1, boom, just like instantly great.
No, that's a real drawback to it, right? Um, and that's one of the reasons glitter was a little bit lower. And that's one of the issues with jewelry box because you really do need that upgrade on the apotheosis.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I think our A tier is much closer to B tier than our B tier is to C tier.
I honestly think, I just think there's
But
not as big of gaps between these relics as there are with some other people. I'm feeling very uncertain because I feel like we've tiered these off, but besides this like D tier, depending on what your deck is, I could see any one of these being great, right? If you
right,
have a potion belt, take this, right? If
right.
you've got all the energy in the world, take this. If you're about to die, take this, right? If you've got no upgrades, take this. If you feel like you need more cards and more stuff, you can play 5 cards. You know what I mean? Like there's so many
And
just
anytime you see Dido, you just pick that. So
and I usually don't, but
that's not fun.
that's just because I'm like I don't want to play because I've got something good enough, right? I think I can win if I have the Swift. I have an extra energy from a Darv relic, and I say, well, I'd rather just play more cards than play Diadem, even if it's stronger. But I don't know.
I, for some reason, I don't know. Yeah, for some reason, Antlers, I don't know. I just like, yeah, I feel like all of A and B tier are kind of merging in my brain right now. I see any one of those six and they feel around the same power level.
hmm.
Except
Yeah, that's
Glam, like in terms of how often I pick them, I feel like the A tier and then the next three in B tier are all roughly the same pick rate for me. And
I
then yeah,
do.
I pick up the item like every time I see it, and then Glam and the other ones less so.
I'm probably not going to shift this tier list anymore because I like the symmetry. Um, but I've got a lot of doubts. Like things could flip just because they are pretty close. Um,
Like
things
Apotheosis in
could,
A tier,
or in C.
but not in D, right? Please.
I really don't like it that much, but yeah, I mean, if you need the upgrades, um, Alex, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. It was fun to do one of these quicker tier list videos of just the ancient relics. I think ancient relics are my favorite change in Slay the Spire 2. I remember my first playthrough just seeing them and my mind was just blown about the interesting effects, and I still think they're very interesting and very cool effects, and so they're fun to talk about.